morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Well, good. It looks like a light crowd today. It looks like the rain may have scared a few people off here. But great to see everybody. I actually welcome this little bit of cooler weather. I don't enjoy the heat. Something happens when you hit 50 and the furnace goes up, so I like that cool weather. Got a lot of things to share with you guys today, and then before we do that, though, I'd like to welcome any visitors we have here for the first time. And who is here for the first time today? Yes, ma'am. Would you like to introduce yourself? Yes, you.
My name is Renee. I've lived here about 3 months, and I now live in Asheville.
Well, good. Welcome. Glad you're here. Well, welcome, Pat. Great to have you here. Anyone else in that section? Okay, yes, back here.
Hi, I'm Scotty Holloway from Charleston, and I'm visiting.
Well, welcome. Glad you're here. All the way. And do we have anyone else who's a visitor today? Well, we're glad you're here and looking forward to a great day here. And
Yes, I'm a visitor. I didn't introduce myself last time. I'm Stacy Mayo, and I just moved to Asheville in January.
Well, great to have you here. And nice to see you again. So it's a good thing you came back, so that's good. So a few announcements I'd like to share with you guys. Number one, I did send out an email to the group, but in case you didn't get it, our beloved Sharon, Mary's partner of 30 years, passed away this week, and we're with you. We love you, and I know it was a tough week and a tough battle for you, but you handled it with such grace. You're my hero, really. We love you.
I just want to say to all of you, and so from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of Sharon's heart, you all mean the world to me, and Sharon thanks you, and I thank you, and never underestimate the power of your love and your care, because you truly carried both Sharon and I feel joy today because Sharon was, is, and because you all are. I can't thank you enough. Namaste.
And in honor of Sharon today, to celebrate her life, Julie made her famous celebration cake. And so we have a lot of cake today, and that's a good thing. So it's a big day, and besides celebrating Sharon, who in here has a September birthday? Yeah, does anyone else have a September birthday today? No, really? No more Virgos in the room, huh? Oh, Pam's not here. When's Pam's birthday? Okay. Well, we'll just eat a piece of cake for her. We have plenty of cake, so please stay after and we'll celebrate, and it's going to be a great day. Other announcements. As you can see on our back table, I got more t-shirts in, different sizes and colors. Also, we have license plates now, bumper stickers, so we're getting that namaste word out. So check it out. They're all for sale, little mini fundraiser for our center, and see what works for you. And I'd love to see you wearing those t-shirts around. That's a good thing. Somebody's phone is talking. Is it mine? Okay, yeah, so. That's right, okay, God calling, that's right. Okay, I thought I turned it off, sorry. So just a reminder, turn off your cell phones, please. That's what that was for. Finally, one thing that I'm so grateful lately, because Roland here has taken over the video. Thank you, God. That's such a relief, and you're doing a great job. Really appreciate it. I was doing the website, which I just couldn't even stand to look at it. It was so awful. But I did the best I could, and we have a gal creating a new website, which should be live in the next couple of days, which is much nicer. It's very up-to-date and cool. So looking forward to that, and I'll put the announcement out as soon as that comes to be. And you know how things start out. You think it's going to cost X, and then it costs a little more, and then a little more. Well, I want that. Well, that'll cost you, but okay, well, cha-cha-cha-ching. And so if anybody is interested in contributing to the website fund, we'll gladly accept. Also, let's see, we've got Heidi here today, who's going to be doing the bowls at the end of the service. And Heidi's class is starting. It's basically an intro to science of mind. It's going to be this Tuesday. If you're interested, see Reverend Heidi after the service. She'd be glad to tell you more about it. And then this afternoon, if you choose to meditate with her in the bowls at 1 o'clock, see Heidi. So raise your hand so they know who you are, Heidi. There she is in the back row. So thank you for doing this. Big thing finally happening. I'm a little nervous about this one. No, I'm not. I'm excited. But one of my lifelong dreams, as many of you all know, is the intentional community, and Namaste Village is ready to be launched. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's happened, and it's so beautiful because I said, Spirit, if this is going to happen, it's got to be easy, and it's really been amazingly easy. And I've been working with Carrie Lindsay over at Highland Lake. There's many of you have already seen the parcel of land. It's gorgeous. We've got 6 different home sites to choose from, or home layouts, floor plans to choose from. It's going to be awesome. The meeting to really introduce the project is going to be the 28th of this month, a Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm not sure if it's going to be here or there, so but I'll let you know as soon as I find out. So if you want to come, you are going to need to RSVP with me so we have a clue of how many people are going to be there. And if there's other folks you know that are interested in this type of community, keep me posted. You can invite them, and we'll just make it a beautiful place to be. And last of my announcements, Peter, I see you snuck in here, you and Suzanne. Peter did a fantastic presentation 2 weeks ago on, and he was channeling, and it was remarkable. It was wonderful. And I said, Peter, we really have to do this more often. People really loved it. So starting a week from this Tuesday, the 23rd, we're going to do a series of these on Tuesday nights. So if you're interested, you can talk to Peter, learn more about it. It's a beautiful experience, and lots of good things to come. So thank you for coming today, Peter. And
He's also speaking at Friday morning group on the 26th.
Okay.
And the Friday morning group is having drumming next week, by the way.
Cool. Well, you were next on my list, Aurora. So see, you jumped the gun, but that's cool. That's okay. Keeping me going here. And Aurora, we are so grateful as always to have Aurora here today and share her inspired music. Thank you for being here. Yes. Okay, and the last thing, you've got a few flyers on your chairs. Take a look. Suka's doing fitness after 50 day, and Ellen said, well, I'm not old enough for that. Yes, so Ellen's like, I can't do that. And we have a wonderful speaker, Swami Tipurari, who's going to be speaking here in a couple of weeks. There's a flyer there. And Brian Chrissy has free admission to the Dowsers meeting. If you're interested in, raise your hand, Brian. You can see Brian and you can attend that meeting as well. And it's on September 20th, next Saturday at 1 p.m. So at Unity Church. So that will conclude my lengthy announcements today. So let's take a moment and close our eyes and take a nice deep breath and just allow ourselves to be fully present in this moment. And just take in all the beauty and all the love that surrounds each and every one of us. We come here with open hearts and open minds, and we ask that Spirit lead us into a collective experience of knowing at a deeper level the truth of who we are. We place our future in the hands of God, and we know that all is perfect, all is divine, and all is well. So it is. I did forget one little announcement. And it's a little one. It's an important one because we have a new soul on the planet, and Linda Group is a new grandmother. So congratulations. Yes. And what's your baby's name?
Well, her brother calls her Easy Bell. Isabel.
Isabel.
Isabel Grace.
Oh, beautiful. And you've got pictures, I presume.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
I got one.
So you can see the pictures.
Yeah, well, wait.
Okay. Well,
I sent it to my husband so he could do the Facebook stuff because the phone doesn't work over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be ready next time.
Okay. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, now I would love to welcome Terry and have him take over here.
I got this. Good morning. Good morning. I got this feeling we should sing Happy Birthday. Don't you think? Is that a good thing? Let's do it. If she's going to be that embarrassed, we'll do it twice. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlotte. Happy birthday to you. So now you're in a good voice. Let's do the Light of God. Seems like a long time since I've sung this.
We missed you greatly last week. We really did.
You ready? Oh, the light of God is in me, and it shines right out my eyes, making me a part of everything in the earth and sea and sky. And it makes me feel so happy just to know I'm not alone. 'Cause when you're a part of everything, everywhere is your home. There's a light that shines within you, and it's with you every day, bringing love to everybody in the things you do and say. It's the reason that you live in. It's the force that drives you on. It's the stars up in the heavens, and it's your morning sun. Everybody sing it twice as loud. Oh, the light of God is in me, and it shines right out my eyes, making me a part of everything in the earth and sea and sky. And it makes me feel so happy just to know I'm not alone. 'Cause when you're a part of everything, everywhere is your home. Everywhere is your home. Yeah! Okay.
song just seemed appropriate today. This was actually written by David Pomerantz, who was a friend of mine, and he's the guy who wrote It's in Every One of Us, in case you didn't know. Now you've found the love you've been so afraid of. Breathe a sigh of relief. Now you've opened your eyes and you see the horizon. It's there within your reach. Come home, come home. You don't have to be alone anymore. Come home. Though it may have taken years and rivers of tears, not a moment was wasted time. All the races you've run and the circles you've run in are all about to climb. Come home, come home. You don't have to be alone anymore. 'Cause there are open arms and an open door, and all you need to do is walk on through. Come home. You're on an upward spiral over the rainbow, ever higher till you're home. Come home, come home. You don't have to be alone anymore. 'Cause there are open arms and an open door, and all you need to do is walk on through. Come home. Come home. Welcome home.
Well, Terry, as I told Julie yesterday, you all were really missed last week. We really missed you, so welcome back. Welcome home. Oh, well, thanks. We are blessed. My meditation will be at the end of the service with the bowls. But in the meantime, take this opportunity to enjoy and take in the beauty of Aurora's gift of transformation and the masters coming through her to share their music. And we're so blessed to have you here, so thank you. And use this as an opportunity to be still.
I need a volume check. Too loud, loud. Perfect.
Thank you, Aurora. My body's vibrating. Is anyone else's? My legs were shaking. So thank you. That was marvelous. And that actually, your guides must have known, because a lot of what I'm speaking of, I think that they definitely came through to support the message today. And a few, I'd say a couple of months ago anyway, I gave a talk on a great book that actually Eleanor and Larry had given me about Ascension. And it just seemed, it's a wonderful book, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, and it's sort of a great resource to help us make sense of what's happening right now and why we're experiencing some of the things that we're experiencing. And just the past couple of weeks, I've noticed that I've had some almost vertigo type stuff going on, partially because of the new glasses that didn't work. But, but even so, there was, but I definitely feel something different in my body. Is there anyone else who's experiencing some, yes, okay, some changes here? There's definitely some energy out there that's coming in, and it's different, and I'm pretty sensitive to it. And I find that I'm a little spacier than usual, and just feeling different. And I look at this as, wow, we are in times of major, major change. And of course, if you look at the world situation, it's pretty out there right now at all levels. And I don't have to go into it. I think you know what I'm talking about. Lots of stuff going on. But certainly we're in changing times, and I think, as always, we have a choice of following the path of fear or the path of ascension or love. And it's up to us, moment by moment, which path we choose to walk down. And a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of enjoying Peter's message that came through, and I believe it was Katumi that shared this message, and it was so resonant to what I've been feeling, because it really is, although we're going through, what I took from the message, among other things, was that this is a time of surrender. Really, we don't have to be afraid, we don't have to struggle, we don't have to strive. We can just totally surrender and be in the state of ascension right here and now. It's a choice, a moment-by-moment choice we're making. And the fact that we're not alone, we really need to remember that we've got support from all the guides and the angels and each other. I mean, that's what this community is about, and every spiritual community is to really lean on each other for support and encouragement and growth. And I also know that, you know, when we were considering moving up here, well, I was considering it, Ellen was not considering it at the time, but she changed her mind. But there was no way that I could not be here. It was just, I dug my heels in. I said, I've got to go, I've got to be here. I had never even been to Asheville. And I thought it was going to be Asheville, but it actually ended up being Flat Rock, Hendersonville area. And that was 10 years ago. And it's interesting to see how this has played out over the past 10 years. And it's really wonderful to see all the great souls that are converging in this area. You know, I saw Judy snuck in late here, and she was one of our great friends in Florida and a great friend here. And she was one of those who moved up here, and we weren't too far behind Judy. And Judy's, of course, a great healer and just a great soul. So I was speaking to a friend last week, and I said, you know, I'm really, for the first time, and maybe you all can relate to this, is I feel like I've found my soul group. Do y'all feel that? It's just, you know, I look around and I see everybody here, and it's kind of like, wow, there's something bigger than what it looks like going on here. And we have really found the group of souls that we're you know, meeting with and sharing our lives with to go through this sacred experience, whatever it is. And I believe that, you know, as I said a minute ago, the idea to get through this in the greatest and easiest way possible and the most useful way possible is to totally just let go and let God, as they say, or surrender. And I just open myself up every day. I place my future in the hands of God. I know that all is well. And things seem to be flowing much, much easier. Just like I mentioned earlier with this intentional community and the way it's unfolded, it's big. It's a really big thing. And in the old mind, the old model mind, to try and navigate this and figure it out and plan it, I would have gotten stressed to the nines. But now it's like, okay, Spirit, if this is meant to be, it's in your hands, and it's been easy. And I do hold the vision and the knowing that it's going to continue to go easily. It doesn't have to be a struggle. And so often, you know, I think our program is that life, it has to be hard. It has to be a struggle. But it doesn't have to be. That's not Spirit's will. That's our man-made ego trying to figure it all out and analyze. And that's not really the new paradigm. I don't think that's Ascension consciousness. That's very three-dimensional, dense consciousness. So it's the more we can let go, the easier life becomes. I love what A Course in Miracles says about enlightenment or ascension, and it says enlightenment is but a recognition and not a change at all. So literally, in this moment, we can choose ascension consciousness or recognize that, or stay in the three-dimensional consciousness of fear. It's up to us. We don't have to carry the past burdens into this present moment. We don't have to figure anything out. It's just be here now in this present moment. Forgive the past and move on. And it's, there's, you know, as I mentioned, we do have all the help that we could ever imagine. We've got more help than we could ever imagine if we would just ask. A few years ago, there was a gal that did a presentation at the Lightworkers Conference, and I just blanked out on her name. That's interesting. Oh well. See, it was a past. But anyway, she wrote a book called Hiring the Heavens. And it was really just about this. It was about us, you know, asking if our prosperity angel, I need a little help here. Or real estate angel, I need a little help here. Or medical angel, I need a little help in this department. And just to have that faith and confidence that we are really taken care of. And what this is all really showing us is all this stuff that's coming up in our world today and in our personal and collective experience is making us realize that those things that we held on to for sustenance and support in the past are no longer supporting us or sustaining us. Do y'all understand, and can you feel that? It's like, doesn't work anymore. The old paradigm just doesn't seem to make sense. It's not working, but that's not a bad thing. And this area here, you know, I believe it is a very sacred area that we've all chosen to convene upon to share a collective experience of bringing this consciousness and awareness into the world, truly. I believe it with my whole heart, and I feel it. And, you know, as far as how do we get there, how do we move in this direction of ascension consciousness? Well, first, if we acknowledge our inner divinity as a step on the path to embodying it, is not to be confused with narcissism or individualism, since we must further admit that everyone's birthright is the same limitless creational potential of unconditional love. So it's all about what am I doing and my claiming and connecting to my own inner divinity. and knowing that every person on this planet has that same spark within them, and no one is exempt. You know, it's so interesting, so much of our programming in the media, even in the church, is often about the good guys and the bad guys. And that, you know, that there's, I never could make sense that people who are pro-life are the first ones that want to go to battle and kill the bad people. Or they want to, you know, they're all for the death penalty. And either we're for life or we're not. You know, it's to me, it's a pretty simple, you know, thou shalt not kill. It's not thou shalt not kill except blah, 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 blah. And so we've made so many exceptions to Spirit's will in this three-dimensional world. And then we've gotten people to program us to believe that this is okay. And, you know, it's all or nothing. I really am getting that. It's either we're jumping in full-fledged or we're not jumping in at all. We're totally surrendering or we're not in at all. And we're totally accepting and loving everybody or we're not in it at all. And so when we really get that and understand that even though there's people playing what seem to be insane roles on the planet today, that they're part of my ascension process. They're part of my awakening and moving into the next dimension. Well, there's, you know, we just made it through the week of September 11, the 13th anniversary of that. And of course, in the media, there was a lot of anticipation that, you know, this is a day of high danger alert. And there was a lot of programming and fear and things. And so people were, you know, sort of looking over their shoulder like, well, what could be going on? My brother sent me an email saying that, oh, they're going to come in the shopping malls, don't go there, and, you know, all this fear stuff. And I was reading a question and an answer, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Satchidananda. Have you ever heard of Swami Satchidananda? Well, the question was asked to him, it seems that whenever things are very calm and tranquil, one can be sure that some big turmoil would be happening at any moment. Will life always be like this? In moments of tranquility, must we always keep one eye watching for the enemy to come over the hill? And his answer was interesting. He says, yes, it's better to watch for it. Life is always like that. It's in the quietness that the enemy comes to test to see how peaceful you are. If darkness comes, look for the light that follows. When the day comes, watch for the night that follows. If you know that one will not be there without the other, then you won't get caught in either. And I think that this is what's happening. It's like all of these, you know, we can't have one without the other. And when we're in our greatest sense of peace, I think that there's sort of like a little test. Okay, well, let's see, how can you handle this situation? And I think we handle it pretty darn good. I really do. And these incidences that seem so tragic and tumultuous are great lessons in us just sort of testing our barometer of where we are spiritually. And, you know, be in the world, not of it. As A Course in Miracles talks about, rise above the battleground. Just observe without judgment. I don't have to be in the midst of battle. I can just watch it like I'm watching a movie. Because if we remember who we are in truth, which is extensions of God's perfect love, light, and that essence of us is changeless, formless, and eternal, and totally not affected by anything that's going on, period. It's there again. It's that jumping off point and surrendering to the truth of what is. And I'm finding that the more and more we do that, and I'm experiencing it in my own life and certainly in conversation with many others, that when we allow ourselves to surrender and let go, it's a much greater ride. It's much more fun, it's easier, it's not so stressful, and we can just enjoy the journey, and we can be of greater service to the world. So, absence of turmoil is not real peace. Real peace is when we rise above the turmoil and stay peaceful in the midst of it. That's real peace. So, because if you think about it, each person in here probably has their own idea of what peace looks like or should look like. And So we'd have however many people here, that many different ideas on what peace would look like or ideal conditions. But the mastery is when we can just see everything for what it is, which is in its perfection. And so we're moving in the evolution from human to divine consciousness, and that involves healing the belief in duality and its legacy of karma and disease at the cellular and atomic levels. And I think that's so true. We talked about this yesterday in our ministerial class, this idea of karma and reincarnation. And the truth is, reincarnation, all there is now. If it's fine if you want to go back and play with your 3,000, 2,000, however many lifetimes and figure this all out. That's sometimes can be useful and sometimes can be helpful. And karma, it's like how often, and I catch myself saying it too, do we sit here and say, well, it's their karma, not mine. And so that's right there a projection of, separation, really, and unforgiveness and judgment. Because if I was really allowing myself, I remember a few years back that I had this, just all of a sudden an aha that's like, we don't have to do karma anymore. If I was fully present in this moment, forgave the past, then there's nothing to pay karma for, good or bad, because the past is over. So it's up to me to just recognize that if I truly forgive, live fully present in this moment, that there's no need for it. So I had this idea and this knowing, it was kind of like one of those things, those ahas. I don't know where it came from, and, well, I do, but anyway. And sure enough, a few people came back from, I think it was a Coptic conference, Patricia Coda-Robles. They were all excited, and they said, oh, she talked about we don't have to live in karma anymore. I'm like, oh, really? That's so cool. And it's like minds are joined, I'll share another little side story on something like that. When I was teaching golf in Florida, I remember I came up with some little drill that I thought, oh, this is really cool. And it was to help my students. I can't even remember what the drill was, to be honest with you. But it worked. It was very helpful. And it just sort of came to me. And it was like I started using it, and I started seeing students getting better. And then all of a sudden in Golf Digest, guess what? There was like this great new drill that came out the next month. And I thought, that is so cool. It's kind of like they say with inventors, someone keeps this idea to themselves, and it's like, well, I can't tell anybody because if I do, someone's going to get it before me, and guess what happens? Someone gets it before you, and it's like they become a billionaire, and it's like, that was my idea, darn it. And in truth, there's no separation in our minds at all. So it's all of our, we've got access to everything if we just tune into it. And that's very, very exciting. Well, back to our master teacher, one of our master teachers, Jesus. He says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And it's so true. I mean, we hear, so much of what we're learning now is to get out of our conscious mind and into the heart. Heart math greatly supports this. And to breathe into our heart, because our heart has a consciousness that isn't muddled by judgment. It's just pure. So if we can be pure in heart, then we can really know God. That's one way to get there. There's many ways, many paths, to enlightenment. It's just up to us to choose the one that allows us to quiet our mind, live more from our heart, and understanding that we are all one in truth, and no one is exempt. And that's huge. So it's, where is this here? Krishnamurti, he says here, you cannot be frightened of the unknown because you do not know what the unknown is, so there's nothing to be afraid of. We think that living is always in the present and dying is something that awaits us at a distant time. To live completely, wholly, every day, as if it were a new loveliness, there must be dying to everything yesterday. Otherwise, you live mechanically, and a mechanical mind can never know what love is or what freedom is. most of us are frightened of dying because we don't know what it means to live. And I thought that was such a great quote. You know, Jesus would say, I die daily. And what that is I die to the old. The Course in Miracles and other teachings, it's really about the death of the ego and that programmed mind, and again, surrender to the present moment. And when we do that, we overcome the fear of death because we know there's no death. And we're dying to the old beliefs and the old paradigms. And it's hard sometimes because, you know, we're so programmed to believe that we are what we do, how much money we have, what social standing we may or may not have. You know, we look at things outside of ourselves to be a barometer of acknowledging who we think we are. And those things are all meaningless. So it's up to us to recognize that there's nothing I need to do or change or be to awaken. It's just recognizing that that already exists within me. And we go on to say that the degree to which our consciousness expands is the degree to which we understand ourselves and the universe. So it's very cool. As we expand in consciousness, we get a whole new different experience and understanding. I know I'm not the same person that I was yesterday, much less 5 years ago. You know, my beliefs were so, I wrote a book, the first book I made a stab at was about 15 years ago. And 2 years later, I didn't publish it because I said, gosh, I can't even relate to what I wrote here. That's like, so I couldn't even put it out there. And so we're expanding and we're growing all the time, and we have to be open to that. And when we are, as I said, it is a great ride. And Rumi says, I've been a seeker and I still am, but I stopped asking the books and the stars. I started listening to the teaching of my soul. And that's really where I think this is all leading. Is, you know, I'm not here to say don't read another book, don't participate in another seminar or workshop, because, you know, the Spirit will work with us and maybe a book will fall off the shelf or someone will hand you a book that just is the book you need to read today. But it's also knowing that what we're here to do is not to become attached to any of this, but to use that as a means of listening to the teachings of our soul. And that's the real ascension. That's where we really get the good stuff, the great stuff. And sometimes the teaching of my soul will tell me to read this book or do whatever, you know, process I need to do to awaken. So these can all be useful steps. It's just up to us to recognize, is this Spirit leading me here, or is this my ego mind? What is my purpose in this? And is this moving me towards a state of ascension or leaving me in this density here in this world? And of course, just keeping it really simple, you know, because you don't have to make it all woo-woo and esoteric. I mean, really simply stating, if we can choose to be positive, having a grateful attitude, that's going to determine more than anything how we move forward in our life. So gratitude and being positive and grateful for all things, because all things really are for our best interest if we would stop judging them. And so attitude of gratitude, I mean, it sounds kind of like, you know, that's cool, but it's true. And if we can just be positive in all things, it's wonderful. And of course, the Course in Miracles says the kingdom of heaven is within you, or is in you. It is in your brother, the flowers, in every living thing. Ascension simply means that we rise above the personality, and the world is seen through the eyes of personality to see through the eyes of Christ. And that's really ascension consciousness. There again, choosing to let Christ's eyes be what guides me and leads me, rather than the past and the programs in my personality that I think I am. We don't get very far with that. And I think that the more we get on this path, it's kind of like, well, how about this? How about this? This looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Well, in the eyes of Spirit, it's all divine. In the eyes of the ego, it's always in a place of judgment and turmoil and pain. Now, St. Augustine said, pray as if everything depends on God and act as if everything depends on you. And I thought that was such a great quote. You know, it's just everything really does depend on God. And if I pray as if everything depends on God, then what's going to happen is I'm going to act in that vein. I will act as everything does depend on me because I am an extension of that divinity. I am that. And it's up to us to know, again, back to the full circle here of surrender. Surrender is really where it's at right now. Surrender to the unknown, not trying to analyze, but just being fully willing to let Spirit guide us, lead us, and direct us. So, of course, we've heard, the I am. And anytime we start a sentence with I am, we are creating who we are, what we want to be, and where we want to go. So I am, that's two of the most powerful words that we can ever state. And what follows that is really what we're choosing to manifest. I loved the movie, The Moses Code, that James Twyman had done years ago. And he said the Moses Code, I actually think it came from Neil Walsh. And the code is actually what they call a comma. And it's, we always hear, I am that I am. We've heard that. And it's like, what the heck does that mean? And but Neil Walsh says that one day he was walking down the street and he recognized a person, and I can't remember the exact story, but it was someone unfavorable by judgment. And he looked at that and he said to his friend, he said, I am that. I am. And it was like that, really just like, wow, how powerful is that? I am that, comma, I am. And when you begin to look at your life, and when we, good or bad, whatever we're judging as good or bad, if I look at it and say, I am that, I am that, I am. And it just changed the whole game for me in understanding that affirmation and saying that we are everything. Recognize that those things that push our buttons and get us most upset are placed there for our learning and for our ascension, and basically for us to forgive. It's about us transcending judgment, being in the world but not of the world. All of these things we've heard. So we are moving in that direction, and it's very, very exciting. So I'd like to close with a meditation, if Reverend Heidi would accompany me here with the bowls, and just allow yourself to be still. And this is an Ascension meditation. So just allow yourself to close your eyes and be still and feel the resonance of these crystal bowls. As they transform your cells, your thoughts, your feelings into perfect light. Open your heart and surrender more fully than you ever have. For you are safe. You are protected. And all is well. Affirm to yourself quietly, I am whole. Separation is gone, and I am connected. I am healing. Worry is gone, and I am healed. I am peace. Anger is gone, and I am centered. I am abundance. Scarcity is gone, and I am grateful. I am joy. Sadness is gone, and I am happy. I am love. Fear is gone, and I am compassionate. I am life. Dissolution is gone, and I am aware. I am whole. I am complete. Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we surrender to the unknown. May our past be totally washed clean and forgiven. May we have the courage and the strength to move forward by your guidance, your love. We pray peace. And may this peace be expressed and experienced by every soul in the universe. Peace and love prevail on earth, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you, Heidi. Well, between Heidi and Aurora and the light of God, man, we can't fail. We will take this opportunity to bless our offerings. And if you hold your gift to your heart and ask that this gift be used to be of greater service in this world, so that we may co-create a community of light, support for our brothers and sisters, and know that our ascension is here. We place our future in the hands of God, and we give thanks. And so it is.
So this is a song by one of the greatest teachers, for me anyway, Mr. John Lennon, of course.
Yay.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, and above us only the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
My favorite song ever. And John Lennon. Well, what? I am the walrus. Let's join hands. Thanks. Now that's a good affirmation. Ascension. I am the walrus. Yes, there you go.
Can I make a quick announcement?
Yes.
I got a sign-up sheet for the men's club over with James's desk. So I think we'll meet this Monday to play some darts and have a beer. But it'll all be done through the email. So if you want to come and meet us in town, email.
Cool.
Sign up.
The men's club. Okay,
Men's
good
club.
deal. We're going to start a women's club soon. Okay, so let's just take in all this wonderful energy and blast it to the center of our circle, which represents our Mother Earth and all of her children. And imagine a world where peace and love prevail. So it is. Let